Annual Sulphur Kiwanis Christmas Parade. I'm Charlie Shrump.
And I'm Sally Shrump.
And we're happy to have you here this year because we have a brand new theme for the parade. It's about balloons this year.
Lots of balloons and a much different route. We're in front of the Catholic Church right now getting ready for the parade to start.
And we have a 75-foot alligator, compliments of Cameron Communications. And we also are going to be welcoming the Lake Charles cable audience. This parade is going to be run on Carlos Cablevision and Sulphur Cablevision. And thanks to Sulphur First Baptist Church for sponsoring this for us this year. We're going to also be running it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. and midnight, as well as Saturday at noon.
So please watch.
Here we go, and the Sulphur Police are starting off our parade, the 13th annual Sulphur Kiwanis Christmas Parade. And what a beautiful day the Lord has made. And let's not forget that the reason for the season is Jesus. As you see, Christmas balloons on parade is the themes this year for our parade. And followed immediately behind the banners and our Christmas parade theme is the U.S. Marine Corps Guard.
And you know what, Charlie? The Marine that's holding the United States flag looks awfully familiar. I believe he's the son of Charlie and Sally Shrump.
That's right. He's the father of two of our grandchildren. So we are kind of partial to that one. But Britt Shrump was carrying the American flag with that battalion of color guard. Next up is our Grand Marshal, and the flag's being carried by a couple of Sulphur High School cheerleaders.
And who is our Grand Marshal this year, Charlie?
Well, you know, Sally, that's a good question. It's Marilyn Broussard driving the car. I don't recognize who the Grand Marshal is. I don't have that information. Can you believe that? All right. I know. It was the a group from the hospital, senior group. And I think it was. Yay. Okay, here comes our own Sulphur High School Golden Tornado Band.
You know, Charlie, it's not a parade without the bands. We really appreciate them coming out.
Let's see if we can't let you listen, and maybe we can figure out the name of this song. God rest you, merry gentlemen. Okay, and Sally's right. Next up is Gumbo Gator, and let's see. I just saw in the paper he's 25 or 30 years old. 25. Hey, you know, he wears it well. I don't see any gray hair on him hardly.
I hear he's had a very busy day today too. Our parade, the Lake Charles parade. He's supposed to be there for the fireworks tonight. It's a busy gator.
I'm telling you, and he's dancing for us right now. There we go.
Are you sure he's dancing, or is he talking to the gator behind him? Look at that alligator behind him.
Yes, I don't know if you really need to be here in person to see the size of this gator that's behind him. The 75-foot gator that is being sponsored by the Cameron Communications. It's a truly awesome sight to see.
Isn't the dimensions on it 18 foot wide by 75 feet long?
I believe that's right. It is really awesome. You really need to be here. I'm not sure the camera can get it all in the screen.
But look at the children. They can't believe that something this big is down. Can you hear the screams of the kids? They're yelling at it.
And we understand it takes 10 people on each side to hold on to this thing. It is just immense.
When we first told the people about the alligator coming, there was a lot of people wanting to know who is doing the lines. Do you know anything about the lines?
Yes, this is Cameron Communications and their employees. I see Mimi Ryder and Tommy Prejean right there in front. And let's see if we recognize any other of the employees. Yeah. We understand a big thank you has to go to Gerald Hansen and Melvin Bergeron for helping to sight this thing so that they don't hit the overhanging wires. But it's manned by Cameron Communications and sponsored by them. I see Monty Leger and his wife. And Robert Large holding their sign at the end, camera communication, all lines are open, 75 years of service, 1928 to 2003. And we can't see the people on the other side, but they got the same number on the other side to hold on to that. Okay, we got next up the City of Sulphur, Faith Family Community, their balloons and their banner. That's Reed Ellender holding their banner. And the City of Sulphur float. That's a bunch of city employees.
The mayor, Mayor Ronald Liu and his wife.
And Glenn Williams and his wife Renee. And Wilmer Dugas is up there throwing too. Throwing beads. Trying to wipe us all out. Yeah, they're having a good time up there. Judy Guidry? Yes. And Mrs. Joe Landry. All right. Mayor Ron Liu and his banner and balloon right there. These gentlemen helping out are members of the Sulphur High School football team, helping to carry the balloons and banners. All right, next up we got a Humvee or a Hummer. What is it, a Humvee or a Hummer?
Hummer.
All right, it's a Hummer. It's a pretty tank. All right. Let's see.
Kind of like, mm.
It says Chris Duncan, Sulphur City Council, District 3. Apparently Chris Duncan is running for Sulphur City Council. I thought he was on the zoning board. All right. Yeah, Billy Bro is... Yeah, David Ritchie was just elected district judge, and Chris Duncan apparently is running for his seat. I haven't heard about anybody else. Let's see if we see Chris. Yeah, he's walking in the crowd there. Yes. And then we got Neighborhood Mini Storage. I see Eric Avery and some of his family. Eric's holding the balloon. Yeah, here comes Larry Avery with Neighborhood Mini Storage walking in the parade. And there's their van. It says Merry Christmas from Abe's Cajun Mart, Sulphur, Lake Charles, as well as the Neighborhood Mini Storage. All right, next up we got Awana.
What is an Awana?
That's the First Baptist Sulphur's Awana parade float. I recognize one of the Ellender girls.
Awana is a Bible study.
There we go. And as a group, let's see if we can get them to wave a little bit.
Kiever Ackley.
Kiever Ackley on there.
And who?
Lori Ellender. Which Ellender?
And there's Rachel right there.
Jacob Richardson. Okay, here's the second one of the Awana floats. It says Wednesday nights at 5:20. They're 3 years old to 5th grade. And gives you the number where you can join them. Let's see if we recognize anybody in that group. I see Dan Broussard walking behind it.
There's Ashley Broussard.
Ashley Broussard, yes. Let's see who else is in there. Connie and Jacob Riggins. Oh, Bridges. Oh, there's Connie. I'm sorry. I wonder who they're related to and working with. Somebody. Oh, well.
They're all working for one, and that's God.
That's right. Jesus is still the reason for the season. All right, while we have a small break in the action, I wanted to tell everybody again we're thanking First Baptist Church of Sulphur for sponsoring, along with Cameron Communications for their help, that this will be shown on Channel 8 in Carlos and Channel 60 in Sulphur, as well as Channel 60 in Lake Charles. And it's going to be broadcast here in Sulphur on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on 8 p.m. at midnight, as well as Saturday at noon. We also want to thank our judges this year, Lauren Watson, a senior at Westlake High, Charla Watson, Randy Broussard's secretary, Rebecca Todd, an attorney with Baggett McCall, Shelley Johnson, and Michelle McInnes with the Tourist Bureau. We thank them very much. Okay, next up is the First Baptist Church Upward Basketball and Cheerleading float. They got a nice Santa on the top, and there are balloons everywhere for the theme of the balloons this year.
There's Deborah Holder.
All right. Who else do you see?
There's Casey Brooks.
And Michelle Darby.
There's Carrie Allender coming with this balloon. Jesse Fano, look, Jesse's waving.
All right. It says Christmas and Upward Basketball. It's all about Christ. Okay, carrying this next float, the balloon is Carrie Ellender that's Gallery Brokers banner. And I see Drew Ellender walking behind with Clara Winfrey Colvin. Clara Colvin. I'm slow, but I'm getting there. All right. Okay, next up is one of our queens.
Cal-Cam what?
Okay, it's Chanel Jordan, the Cal-Cam Fair Teen Miss. All right. She's with Maplewood Middle School. Wonder how old she must be. She's 8th grade and she's 14. Well, we've got a good helper here. Let's see if we can get her to wave and smile at John a little bit.
What's her name? Chanel! Chanel! I don't think they can hear from that picture.
I don't think so. It's got some pretty bears there on her car.
Center.
All right, the Henning Cultural Center. Oh, that's next to the Brimstone Museum. That's the old Henning House that's being transformed. And there's their balloon. That's Mike Stein carrying their balloon. And Helen. Okay, next up. This must be Karen Ogden's float.
I hope we're able to get that line of balloons coming down, because I'm telling you, that's a sight to see all those balloons lined up all the way down as far as you can see.
Yeah, Mike Stein is with Spar. Spar helped us to build the platform for the Gator that the Kiwanis had brought in with the help of Cameron Communications. Karen Ogden's dancers danced for us earlier, and we hope to put them on this video. And here they are in their floats, all their girls in their red caps, and then here they come dancing along. Let's see if we can hear. Look, Sally, you got some of your pom-poms. We let Sally have pom-poms, but she hurt herself, so we don't let her have
Amy Miller
baton.
right there, too.
Amy Miller, okay. And Air Liquide. They provide us the helium for all of these balloons. We have over 30 of these balloons that you see. And they were filled by helium through Air Liquide. So we sure do appreciate their help as well. And here's the Girl Scouts.
There's Haley and Hannah.
And they're blowing bubbles at us.
Look, Charlie, they have their stockings with their names on it. Maybe when they come by a little closer, we can read some of the names on the stockings.
That could be. Looks like Samantha and Chelsea and Stacy and Bailey
Kim,
and Alice.
Nicole. And they're blowing bubbles
Ashanti?
to everyone on the street.
I'm telling you. Having a good time.
Rod Dennis, right here.
Oh, here comes Rod Rentrop's float. His banner is balloon. And here comes the Maplewood First Baptist Church float. That looks like Johnny Peel driving that one.
Look, there's Abby.
Ah. It says Christmas when love was born. Isn't that a pretty float with the balloons? They got a heart-shaped balloon, or balloons in the shape of a heart, and white balloons everywhere. It's a real pretty float. And they have the baby Jesus and the kids dressed up as Mary and Joseph.
Olivia Dodge right behind them.
Okay, next up is Century Group's banner and balloon, carried by Sulphur High football players. Followed by the Cub Scouts of Cub Scout Pack 80 here in Sulphur.
Look, it says floating off to Christmas. How cute.
And Merry Christmas from Pack 80. Let's see if we can get them to wave.
There's Nancy Trahan right there in the front.
And look, they have a balloon tree. Isn't that nice? To keep in accordance with our theme. And a few of them have antlers on their heads.
And all the children are yelling at everybody, Merry Christmas. It's so sweet. Our next balloon.
Our next balloon coming up is, I think it's First Federal. Can't really see it. Yeah, First Federal. And a couple more Sulphur football players carrying the banner and the balloon.
And anytime y'all hear us saying who helped with all this, please tell them when you see them, thank you for helping with all the balloon donations.
Yes, we each of those sponsors, those banners, had to pay for us to order and get these balloons here from California, as well as Camera Communication getting the gator here so we could put on this great balloon parade. All right, next up is the First Baptist Carless float. Let's see if we can recognize anybody on that. Okay, they're singing to us. Let's see if we can hear what they're saying. It's a song about Jesus, but I couldn't really make it out.
They've got presents walking behind them, Charlie.
They do, and they also had their Jesus shirts on.
And Bell South balloon is next.
With their banner.
Is that more football players carrying that?
I believe so. Next up is Cub Scout Pack 38. Let's see who's on there. Not sure what school they're based at.
Carrying the balloon.
They've got their flags there and got some balloons all over their truck and trailer.
Whose balloon is that?
That's Allied Home Mortgage Capital Corporation, and they've got a Sulphur cheerleader and a football player carrying that balloon and plaque.
You notice she was tied to the balloon in case it got away. They had it tied wrapped around her waist.
They do that on all that as a precaution. And next up is Delane's Dance Academy here in Sulphur.
You know, earlier, Charlie, the girls had to come here and dance for us without having to go to the street, and we weren't sure how things were going. And they were all so nice and sweet, and they had to dance for the judges, and even though they had to do it at a moment's notice and dance where they were not prepared, they all did a great job.
Yes, they did. And let's see if we can get anybody from Delane's to wave at us. Get them to look up here. No, they're throwing candy, having a good time doing that. I don't see Delane up there. She just let all the girls up there this year. Okay, we got the First Bank balloon, followed by Shrump and Shrump. And those are, well, it looks like one of the Barris girls. And the football players carrying the balloons there again. We do appreciate their help as well. Coach Paul Bourgeois asked them to help, and they jumped in to help along with the cheerleaders. We couldn't have done it without all the help we got. It took a lot of work to put it on. All right. We next have, we also want to put in a plug for Judd Barris for all his work on the camera that hopefully you'll get to see all the work that goes into putting the balloons together and things. And, of course, the police and firefighters that help to keep the crowd control and do the things they've done. Okay, next we have the 2003 Junior Miss Merry Christmas.
Jessica Foe.
All right, she's got a nice present there she's throwing candy from. All right, next up is Don Shetler Ford's balloon and plaque shown by the police, the Sulphur football players. And the Carl Vincent balloon, I believe. Yeah, Carl Vincent State Farm. And that's carried by a couple of his employees, I believe. All right, we got the West Calcasieu Cameron Hospital balloon. And that's a few of their employees carrying those for them. Got their Christmas hats on. And they got the ambulance all ballooned up. All right, what a fine job they've got going on at the West Calcasieu Cameron Hospital. And another West Calcam Hospital truck. Yeah, Tim Broussard sitting in the back of that one. Got Yeah. Yeah, we want to also send our condolences to the Moses family. We just lost Billy Moses, who's on the West Calcam Hospital Board of Directors for a number of years, and of course a longtime Sulphur High School principal and superintendent of the Calcasieu Parish Schools. All right, we get back in the truck. Got a bunch of the kids from the West Calcam employees, and they're all decked out with their balloons, throwing candy. And next, it looks like we have the Cameron State Bank balloon and placard being carried by Sulphur High cheerleader and football player. All right, next up, your Houston River GA's Girls in Action. All right, let's see if we recognize anybody in the truck there. They got their icicles and their balloons and throwing that, and they all got their hats and beads. Having a good time, throwing beads at us.
Jeff Davis Bank.
Next up, next balloon and plaque is Jeff Davis Bank. Okay, while we got a little break in the action, we'll like to thank again Sulphur First Baptist Church for helping to put this on, and as well as Cameron Communications, who helped sponsor the Big Gator, as well as all of these sponsors whose names you see near their balloons, because we couldn't have put it on without them. And we also appreciate everybody that helped the police and fire, as well as all the volunteers for Kiwanis and others. Judd Barris on his work on the camera, and John's, and Sally as well, and these judges all who volunteered to help put this on and done a great job for us. Okay, next up, let's see, is another Boy Scout troop. Let's see, or
the line still goes on with all the balloons. It would seem that they would be almost not being as many, and as you can still see it as far as all the way to the end of the road, the balloons are still coming.
That was Ricky Blackwell. Okay, we have another Houston River Baptist float with a number of balloons. All right, they've got a little bit. Now, I can actually see some ducks on there. Guys, I'm not imagining that. I know one year I thought it was a duck blind when they had a manger, but this is actually ducks on there, so it's not a manger.
That's very good, Charles.
Okay, let's see. We got I see Lonnie and Tammy Gothrop and.
He's the pastor of Houston River
Right.
Baptist Church.
In the hat, he and Tammy following behind the float, and
there's Holly.
and we got a whole bunch of kids.
That's Terry Murray.
The RAs must be having a good time there with the hats on and the balloons and the duck calls and throwing the candy. Some kind of float with ducks on it. I don't understand that, but all right. They might have heard me give this thing before. Okay, next up is also Houston River, or is this is Ward 7?
Oh, that one?
This is Troop 106.
Troop 106.
Okay.
Even the little baby in pink.
Oh, they got balloons everywhere, and the kids with their hats, and they're blowing bubbles also.
And yelling Merry Christmas to all.
All right, and
And that's David Holder carrying the Hickson Sulphur Memorial.
balloon. The person holding the plaque is Jim Devant with Hickson, I recognize. Okay, next up is the Henning 4-H float.
Ho Henning.
Okay, and I recognize one of the teachers.
Greg Richardson.
Yeah, he's still teaching there, I believe.
And Jana. Burton, it used to be.
Okay, let's see. How about any of the kids? Do we recognize them?
Brandon Kiefer.
Okay, and right after that is Aflac, Ellis Hassan, Scott Enos, balloon and plaque, carried by a Sulphur High cheerleader and football player. And right after that is
The cheerleader center is Allison Bro.
okay. Right after that is a duck being carried along with a music box, I believe.
Is that the Sulphur Fire Department? No, it's Houston River. Houston River Fire Department coming up right here, and they've got gloves all over the front to make it look like antlers. It's gloves blown up like balloons. It's so cute. They're throwing candy from the top. Edward Jones' balloon is coming up next, tied to another cheerleader.
And football player.
Yeah, can you get me another time? Okay.
Okay, next up is Pack 83 out of Maplewood of Cub Scouts. And let's see. Followed immediately after that by Senator Willie Mounts float our balloon and plaque, and Ronnie Johns State Farm balloon and plaque. But let's see who we recognize in the Pack 83 Maplewood Cub Scouts. Sally? Oh, look, it's Indiana Jones in the back there. Probably not? Okay. Kind of looks like the hat. He must be the scout master.
That's Joe Castro throwing some candy for the kids.
It's hard to tell. All right.
Just outside the truck. That's
It may be Scott Bergstedt as the scoutmaster, but we can't tell for sure. I'm sure we'll get some calls on that. All right, they're singing. Let's listen in.
Merry Christmas. There's Senator Willie Mounts balloon coming up.
And Ronnie John State Farms also with Sulphur High cheerleaders with the plaque and Sulphur High football player with the balloons. All right, next up is the Premier Dance Academy. That's a new dance academy located on Huntington Street in Sulphur. They dance for us, and hopefully we'll be able to put them on for you. But here they come in their float. It says, "Wishing you a Premier Christmas from Premier Dance Academy." The girls are all throwing their candy.
And Ronnie Johns is here with his wife watching this float. Y'all should all come.
Okay, that's Christy Weidert is the and Melissa Alexander run that Premier Dance Academy. The girls had a good time dancing for us, and they're throwing snow, it looks like.
That's a scout Santa.
Okay, that's the Carlos Lions Club now coming up at Garrett Lawrence is, I believe, the president this year of the Carlos Lions Club in the outfit there. And next up is the Carlos Fire Department.
That's playing Rock Around the Clock.
Okay. And they got their balloons. It looks like Mark Ledoux waving at us. Oh, I hope it doesn't fall off. We know how Mark is in his coordination, so. Oh, he tried to hit us with the candy, though. All right.
Christmas, what's the name of that song?
Rockin' Christmas, sounds like it. Here they come again. Balloons all over the fire trucks. Oh, and then right after that is Deep South Productions, balloon and plaque, a Sulphur High cheerleader with the plaque and football player, I guess, with the balloon. All right. Next up is the Grace Interdenominational Church. It's easy for me to say, huh? All right, and they have a cross made of balloons, and balloons.
Look, Charlie, it looks like stained glass they made out of balloons to put inside the cross. Isn't that nice?
That's very neat. Looks like Judd Barris is getting in the truck to film for you. He's going to get down and dirty He thinks he's on 60 Minutes here. Let's hope he doesn't. Oh, what was that? Just ran by.
Isn't that Curtis Bird driving that truck?
I think it is. All right, see if we recognize anybody else. Oh, we're coming up with Bonanza Steakhouse. Let's have some. I'm hungry.
It's a pretty truck.
Yeah, it's a big old truck. Is that a diesel? Doesn't sound like it. All right, this is the Frash 4-H float.
Is there a Hemi on that thing?
Hemi, I don't know. Could be a Hermie, I don't know.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Talbert.
Um,
Yeah, that's
Joy Kinney. All right.
Joy Kenny. Joy Kenny's on
Fox, that's who I was like. Yeah, Joy Fox is there. Okay, ConocoPhillips balloon and float. And this is Southern Tradition, the Calcasieu Tigers 938. Not sure what that is.
Calcasieu Tigers.
Pretty float. Got balloons everywhere.
Bank coming up.
Yeah, Whitney Bank followed that with their balloon and plaque. And after that is Sunshine Buddies, which is Sunshine Buddies and Friends.
Jennifer Taro.
Jesse Harper, Tara O'Quinn, Aaron Lorette, Dustin Lorette, Cody Joe Harper, Sam Thompson, Matthew Bowring, and Katie Thompson. Wishing y'all a very Merry Christmas.
And then Bryce and Palermo are next, their balloon.
Bison Palermo is next. Yeah.
Amin Roth is the queen.
Queen of Queens.
Pretty girl.
Yes, okay.
You can hear the people in the audience. They're all saying how pretty everyone is and how lovely the cars and the balloons and the fire trucks. Everybody's having a great time.
Okay, here's Bank One's float. Balloon and plaque. And then Sasol's balloon and plaque.
Reaching new frontiers.
I say plaque, it's a banner. All right, next up is the fire truck from Westlake Fire Department. And they've got their truck all decked out and they're waving. And followed shortly after that by the Brimstone Museum banner and balloon.
And the one with the balloons that are behind us is another teens float. Sulphur Mines Teen Float.
All right, the Sulphur Mines Teens Float is coming up here.
Next year it's going to be the Heritage Festival. They're replacing the Sulphur Mines Queen.
Next year it's going to be called the Heritage Festivals.
Okay, let's see, Miss Brock Rocca, or Brooke Rocca, and Deb Rosa, and
Melinda
Baby
Herrera.
Skylar or Siler. Let's see if we can get them to slow down.
Red.
Miss Sulphur Mines Queens is on that. All right, it's going fast. We still got a few left though. This is the Sulphur High Twisters and Cyclones together on this next float. Decked out in their pretty bright red and green outfits, throwing candy and having a good time. They put on quite a show for us at the dance contest earlier.
You know, there's Jennifer Callahan, Samantha Prejean, Kelly Reed, Candace Broussard, Lauren Davey, Clara Jones. Oh, and I'm telling you, they did so well a while ago when they had to perform for the judges.
All right, we can hear Aaron Neville performing on this next float.
Santa Claus is coming to town. That's Aaron Neville's.
And it is something about a wonderland, winter wonderland.
Winter Wonderland. Yeah!
I think this is SHS leadership float. And they're going to town on Aaron Neville.
There's Whitney Parsley in the black jacket there.
Followed immediately by the Kiwanis Club and their balloon and plaque or banner. And this is the Kiwanis float. Some of the Kiwanians' children.
Of course, Ricky Blackwell said he had a lot of girlfriends on there, and he couldn't even remember all of them's name.
I hope he's talking about the other float because he doesn't have too many on this float. These are 3 or 4 year olds, so.
The other float.
We can't win, we're in the parade. We run the parade. They all said this is such a cute float with all the balloons in the trees. They did a great job, but we don't get to win, we put on the parade. So we appreciate that. And look at all them waving and smiling, all the kids. Oh, that's Lori Castile throwing those at us. Oh, throwing chocolate, great. Yeah, it was they did a good job with that float. Oh, thank you. All right. And yeah, Russell Castile, who helped a lot to get this stuff all together, and his wife Katie, used to be Katie Broussard. Randy Broussard is our chairman of the parade. He does a great job. That's his daughter. Okay, followed by it's a just married, looks like, on the horse. That looks like Pat Savoy. Is that Pat? Anyway, that's Santa in the carriage, and Mrs. Claus. That's I'm not gonna say who Santa is, but he's a Kiwanian.
I know who he is.
Santa, and he's got his helpers elves with him. And here comes.
I'll just give you a hint. Santa takes lots of pictures.
All right, and there goes the Merry Christmas banner by a couple of Sulphur High cheerleaders, and followed by, looks like some clowns on the little electric carts. I'm not sure if those are Scooters Galore is who that is. Scooters Galore and more. Stop, drop, and roll is what it said on his. Remind you that the parade is going to be shown Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. and midnight, as well as Saturday at noon on Channel 8 in Carlos, Channel 60 in Sulphur and Lake Charles. And we want to thank Sulphur First Baptist for sponsoring, along with Cameron Communications, who made this all possible, along with all the sponsors who helped to purchase the balloons so we could have this balloon parade for you. And we want to thank you again, Sally, for helping again this year.
And I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and God bless every one of you.
All right. And thank Judd Barris and all who helped again, Sulphur Fire Department, Police Department, and anybody who had a hand in it. And let's remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. Y'all have a Merry Christmas this year.
Jason Barnes. I'm the director of the Brimstone Museum, and we've got